This is Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon. Mitch Lafon.
We are speaking with David Ellefson of Megadeth and Rick Hughes of the band Sword. And Sword is back. We are ready to get metalized. And why are we here with David Ellefson? Well, because you have the EMP label group and Combat, and this is your latest signing. So 30 years since their last album, roughly, they're back and they're with you. Dave, I'll start with you. Talk to me about why you thought it would be a good idea to sign Rick and Sword, and what did the band mean to you?
Well, look, kudos, first of all, to you. Thank you for being the connection in the middle that helped kind of pull a lot of stuff together on this whole thing. And huge fan. By the way, Rick and I have actually never met. This is the first time video conferencing to meet each other. So,
yes. Welcome to modern technology.
Right? Yeah.
Dave, I have to say, I'm stargazed right now.
And likewise, dude, I'm a huge fan. It's funny. We were both commenting the Peace Sells tour for Megadeth. We listened to the Metalized album like every day, and in fact, we had a sound man named Smacky. It was Canadian. I can't even remember his real name. His nickname was Smacky.
Mike
Mike, exactly. Yep.
He used to be soundman for Sword too.
He knew of you guys, and of course, he worked with Piggy, and he was networked into the whole Canadian scene. So we would listen to, in our RV, we would drive around the country doing the Peace Sells tour and listen to Stoned Again and the entire Metalized album. I mean, Stoned Again was like the theme song of the Peace Sells tour, man. So I'm so stoked to have you here, and I'll have to get you one of these. We just got these, the official Combat helmet here, so I'll have to.
Perfect.
I'm gonna need one of those too.
Awesome, kick-ass signing to have on Combat, my friend.
Yeah,
so
let's just quickly talk about that, because Metalized was a Combat record, so this is a coming home for the band, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's the beauty of Combat is Raven, Hellstar, Sword. I mean, there's people that are like, we're able to bring back home, and obviously it's a new day. It's essentially a new label, same logo and name from the past, but a new cast of characters, and myself and Tom Hazert's at the helm, and I mean, just couldn't be more thrilled. It's funny, Sword and Killer Dwarfs, two Canadian icons in the metal, hard rock metal world. And I mean, Rick, to have you on the label the honor is all mine and all ours. Believe me, man. Really, really, really stoked to have you here. And especially the album that we're putting out. I mean, I'll let you talk about that, because that's got a story in and of itself. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I'll just quickly say, Rick, by the way, Sword is coming back to Montreal. They're doing a sort of reunion show, I guess, for the lack of a better word, April 13th at Club Soda. So hopefully maybe you and Tom can come out and see that too, because it's going to be great. It's going to be, 1,200 people. It's going to be just filled to the rafters. It's going to be wonderful. So that is awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Because in a certain way, we never stopped, because here in Quebec, we're all hired guns for this and that. So I always kept singing for a lot of projects.
Yep.
And the idea of having Sword back on track came in 2012, when we were invited at a German festival. And so we did. We went to Germany, and we had such a response. We came back from Germany in 2012, and it was like, love at first sight, or when you rekindle an old thing of the past, and it's just like it never stopped. So we had that feeling. Yep. And to come back to what you were saying about the Peace Sells tour, that's what I call synchronicity, because we didn't know that, and we were big fans of the album. I mean, come on. What do you mean I don't pay my bills? What do you think? I'm broke, man. We used to just crank it up and just go to shows and listen to Megadeth and all the good music that came
with
it. It's so
that
funny
era.
today.
Remember in the 80s, everybody was good.
Today we'd send each other, like some sort of social media message, or we'd call Mitch Lafon and have him hook it up. You know what I mean? But, back in those days, yeah, it's funny. We were probably within 20 miles of each other at any given moment when we were in Canada or you were touring, and yet, we're probably both blasting each other's, probably cassette tapes in those days. CD hadn't even hit yet, I don't think, right? So cassette tapes and rocking out to each other's music. So yeah, just dude, the beauty of heavy metal, man. It's just such an awesome, community that we live in, man. It's so cool.
Before we talk about the new album, EMP also signed the live album. So Rick, just sort of give me that down low on the live album that came out on your website sort of very quietly last year, but now it's going to have that major exposure thanks to Dave. It is live at the Hammersmith, right?
Yeah. That we went on tour with Motörhead, the great Lemmy, in '89. And we had such a good time. So when we did the 2 last nights at the Hammersmith, we taped it and we kept it for 25 years. And then I took it out of the vault. I went to Mike Plant's house, listened to it. We said, okay, let's do something with that. So we put it together with Glenn Robinson, and now it's out and it hasn't really been out because we all done it ourselves. Right. And now that Combat is gonna help us with the live album and the new studio album. Now I think the world is going to know about that live album.
Yeah, it's going to be great, and it's got to be exciting for you, Dave, to have this 2 products from Sword, not just one.
It is, and I mean the irony that we all know we all know Motörhead from the Hammersmith, live at Hammersmith, and as I understand, they may not have even played at Hammersmith on that tour, right? Wasn't there like some weird thing like it was just a cool vibe and like a live album? I forgot. I was just reading recently. There's a history of that. So now we have Sword, live at the Hammersmith, on tour with Motörhead. Many years after, Motörhead was already famous for Hammersmith. So just the whole story of Sword being here with us on Combat. From a show with Motörhead at the Hammersmith, and just all threads just woven together so perfectly, is just so awesome. And I remember when, I'll be honest with you, one of the criteria, is, hey man, can Rick still sing? Does he still have it? Can the guy still play? Do they still have it? That's always because we've been putting out some legacy albums, and that's always the first thing is we all of us as fans, we love it from 20, 30 years ago, but is it still kicking ass? And man, when we heard some, he sent over some demos and it was just like, dude, the guy's just killing it. It's like Stoned Again in 2018, man. So
it really is. And that's what people don't know. Rick was on La Voix, which is The Voice, the American show. So he did the French version here in Quebec, and he's done the American storybook show or whatever where you sing all those American songs, and he's been out with a guy named Eric Lapointe, who is sort of our Bruce Springsteen but the francophone. So he's been rocking it this entire time. It's not like he sat around and said, oh, can I still sing 30 years later? No, he's been using the instruments. So Rick, just quickly tell us about the new album, because we have 3 songs demoed that I sent over to Dave and Tom, but we're up to 7 now, I believe, right?
Yeah, last night we had the meeting at the headquarters. We like to call it headquarters. And we signed our contract with Combat. We were really, really happy with that. So after that, we went and listened to like at least 10 songs that are...
We're losing Rick.
We've got Canadian Wi-Fi.
We've got Canadian Wi-Fi, right? Like the NHL players, they complain about the Winnipeg Wi-Fi. It's Quebec Wi-Fi for you. But
we'll just stare at your cool Minnesota shirt. Like, we'll just go with that, right?
There you go, Minnesota Wild.
Nice, Minnesota Wild. Sorry about that, Rick. We lost you for a minute, so we improv'd over you.
We improv'd over you, but this is
cool.
It's a great feeling, and the fun thing for you, Dave, is on April 6th, Killer Dwarves are playing Montreal, and April 13th, exactly a week later, we've got Sword. So it's the Combat double weekend in Montreal.
It's cool. I mean, look, for me, and I've said it before, having the label opportunity, serves two purposes. One is artist development for young artists, things that I produce and that other people bring into us that we can develop, and then just as much, to have people, artists that I've been a fan of, and me and Tom have been fans of, and to bring these things, back and to be able to really give it a good look and prop it up, and just really, really stoked. I mean, this one just made my year, man. When I heard about it, it's just so cool. And again, just if for no other reason, obviously awesome group, Rick, but the fact that there's such a Megadeth history on this one from so many years ago, and once in a while we'll pull your record out, Dave. We have it on our jam room laptop, and we'll pull it out from time to time on the backstage in Megadeth settings, and we'll pull it out and listen to it. It's just so cool. Me and Dave just go back to it's like old school, man. It's awesome.
We'll have to get a metalized deluxe edition going on. Sorry, Rick. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. One thing's for sure, Dave, is that there's a lot of fans from Montreal, from Quebec, who's gonna hear you on this interview, and they're gonna freak out. Totally freak out. You guys are really loved and liked here in Quebec. Your reputation is perfect. I mean, your band is tight. Your songwriting, everything, one of the best band in the world. And the way you've just depicted Sword is going to give us a
real boost.
I'm going to hear about that. That's for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
and of course,
man.
Of course, Quebec has always been a great supporter of metal, from Sword to Megadeth to Metallica to Anthrax. All the bands that come here, Quebecers are just they love their metal. So and hopefully for someday, my hope is that someday Sword can open for Megadeth in like Montreal or Quebec City.
You never know. Exactly. It's
fingers crossed.
I'm just so glad it's game on. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
Everything's possible from now on.
Yeah, it really
exactly.
Well,
cool.
There you go. Anything to add, boys? Anything to add, Rick? Rick, I'll let you address Dave and just say what you got to say.
Okay. Well, Dave, it was a pleasure talking to you and finally meeting you, because we've talked on the phone before, and we're really, really honored. We're proud to be signed on Combat, and that you guys are giving us a chance that we didn't have back in the 80s, that now we're going to have. We had Combat back in the 80s, but we were young lads, and we had some stuff to do, and we did, and now we're coming back, and we're coming back strong with you guys, and we're really, really proud of that.
That's awesome, Rick. Well, thank you so much, man, dude. Glad to have you back home, and it's awesome, man. And great, glad to meet you here, Mitch. Thank you for
You're welcome.
being the monkey in the middle, man.
The monkey in the middle.
Together here.
I'm 2 for 2, Killer Dwarves and Sword. I'll have to find a third band.
I have to give you a job, like a real A&R position inside of EMP, man.
I'm
this
ready
guy.
for it.
Yep, exactly.
Red.
It's great, Rick, man. Glad to meet, and you look great, you sound great, and thanks for kicking ass all these years.
Yeah,
and
just wait till you hear the songs. Well, you've heard them.
Yep.
The fans.
I have. Yep, I can't wait to hear the demos of them. Sound amazing, and just what a great way to just kick this whole thing off, man. It's looks to be a good season ahead for us. So rock on, my friends.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for your kind words. We're really, really stoked about this.
Nice. Awesome. Let's do it.
Thank you, folks.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye. Bonsoir. There you go. Okay, thank you, guys.
You're listening to Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon. Rock Talk.